Hello, Makita. I'm finally getting to this video, which I think will be one of a series after all these years. Um, I don't know that this will be one of the most organized videos I've ever made because I have a fever. Rodney's surgery went okay on Friday, but we came home with something. Anyway, but I've got the stuff pulled out and I figured I might as well start. So, scrapbooking. The first thing you'll need to do is decide on the format, because the format will decide so many things. This is the format I used to use. A book full of pockets. Now, this is very easy to put together, very easy to work with, and a pain in the neck to store. So, that's probably largely why I stopped scrapbooking about 15 years ago, because as much as I enjoyed it, nobody wants more than one of those huge, hard-to-store books. And of course, I was very fond of the very lumpy scrapbooking style. And then at Kmart, looking for something else, I found this, a 12 by 12 craft card book, spiral bound. And as long as you don't put anything too lumpy on it, it should be pretty easy to store. So that's what I've decided that we're working on with for this video and for your heritage book. The next thing you'll need is some paper. Now, you don't have to have a matched set, but especially when you're getting started, it's really easier to start with a book of papers because they all go together. It takes a bit of an eye, and you have a beautiful eye, but it would still, be one more step to try to choose things that go together. So this is one of the few pads of paper I have left, so I decided we'd start with this one. There should be enough paper in here to finish the book. Now, that's 12 by 12 paper, and this is a 12 by 12 book, but it doesn't quite fit because the ring binding is in the way. I'm not sure how much of this you can see, but yeah. So I'm going to need to trim the paper. I could trim it to be exactly what will fit, but in my experience, that causes a lot of trouble, getting it exactly right. Where if you go for close enough, it's easier to I'm trying to get this where you can see what I'm doing. It's easier to if you leave yourself some wiggle room. So we'll first cut off this white piece because that won't add anything. And now I'm going to measure it to 11.5 by 11.5, which will give us about a 1/2 inch wiggle room. So it'll be easier to get it right. And it will give us a craft border, which I hope will look pretty cool. Now we're going to start working with the cover, so there won't be, I don't think, any photographs on this, but now, yes, this has just a little border, which I think looks much nicer. Next, we have to stick this on. Now, there's a lot of kinds of adhesives. There are tapes and tape runners and glues and glue sticks. Glue stick, in my experience, doesn't last very long. So that's much better for short-term projects, like school projects and cards that you expect to have thrown away soon. However, this is just plain old PVA glue from the $2 shop. A cap from something or other that I don't even remember what came in it, but I decided that it was really good for crafting projects. I'm going to put a little glue because we want it thin to hold down this paper. Give it a little spritz of water. And then we've got a thin glue, which should hold this light paper on without making any lumps. And this is two-sided paper, which is always a shame because, well, you have to choose which pretty side you want. And then I'm just going to spread the glue all over the back. I didn't make enough. Did I mention that I haven't done this for about 15 years? So, yeah, like I said, it won't be the best video I've ever made, but it'll get us started. I've been prepared, as you know, for weeks, except I kept fretting because I wanted it to be a good book. And I wasn't feeling terribly confident, especially not without going out and buying all the stuff that matched, but you know, you really don't need to. Yeah, that's been a big problem with all of my videos, really. Performance anxiety. I want it to come out right, because people are watching. Yeah. Anyway, I know a lot of this is coming just right off the camera, and I'm sorry. I don't know how to get this any higher up with this setup, which is good enough for a card. Apparently not so good for 12 by 12, so I'll work on that before the next video. But we have glue all over the back of this page. If you miss a spot, you might get lifted paper, so that's why I'm trying to be very careful. Pick up the paper, pull the book in, and line up the paper. The nice thing about glue is that it gives you just a little bit of time to move things around, where tapes and such don't. Although it does mean you need to hold down the paper till it catches. So, that's the cover. So far, so good. Now, for decorations, I have these old stickers that I bought a million years ago. Somewhere in here, there's one that says, "A Family Story." But of course, I've lost that one. Oh, there it is. A Family Story. So I thought we might use that. Excuse me, I'm just hopping over to get some tweezers. Pull off the sticker. Ah, good. It's a whole word. I don't have to try to get all these letters lined up properly. Well, I hope you can see this. We're about to get invaded. Again. Happened to my last video, too. Hi, guys. I'm making a video for Makita.
Oh, hey. How's it going?
Pretty good. I'm not sure how well the video is going, but the book is coming along.
Well, good luck.
Thank you. And now, pretty as far as it goes, but I think maybe this frame will draw attention to the words, because they're kind of small for a 12 by 12 book. Now, oh dear, it fit on the sticker, so how come it doesn't seem to want to fit now? Because it's a very tight fit. And because I got the stickers too far apart. It's been my experience that if you move quickly, you've got a little bit of forgiveness with most stickers. I hope that's true with this family story, because I got that too far apart. Nope. So, scissors. We will cut apart the frame and make it work that way. Don't need that piece, it's just going to make it look messy. Not perfect, but you know what? Most people aren't going to be looking at the details. And the ones who do, well, you know, they get what they get. Now, okay, where did I put the pretty little flowers that I wanted to use? Here they are. Now we're going to need more glue for these because they're not stickers. But we're going to use them like stickers. Now these are heavier weight, so they can use a less diluted glue. I'll put the book out of the way because it's going to be a mess without it, all the extra sticky. Ha! I almost stuck it down upside down. That wouldn't be right. So put that here. Now that butterfly wants more sticky. There. And another one for the other corner. These will help a great deal to disguise the fact that I made a mess of the family story stickers. They're much prettier to look at, and most people just glance and realize they can read a family story, and that will be good enough. With practice, of course, it gets easier. And back when I did a lot of scrapbooking, I would spend a week or more fussing over a layout. But that isn't really necessary. That was just my work method. Now, I've got glue all over the table, so I better wipe it up lest I ruin the back of the book. There we go. And let's see, do we want any more of these? Not sure what the little red thing is, but there are some pretty yellow butterflies. Yeah, why not? They'll balance it a bit. If you can find specifics that relate to what you're trying to scrapbook, that's cool. But really, if the colors work, I don't think it matters too much if they don't exactly reflect what you're saying. Oh, stop it. Enough glue and it'll slide around. Remember I told you it was forgiving? That's not always a good thing. And working in threes usually gives a more pleasing result, so we'll put a third butterfly. And then we have 3 points of focus. And this one. There. A family story. A good beginning. Now, as this sticker suggests, I think that the point of scrapbooking is telling a story. So I picked out some paper and some photos, which I've already trimmed down because we talked about that already. And I find that the back of the paper, the pieces that you had to cut off, can make very interesting adornment that keeps it simple. Keep the pieces that I cut off from the front for another day. But first thing we want to do is put glue on the back and stick it down. Mixing up a little more glue. Sorry that the work area is so small I can't include you in on everything, but think I've tried to show you at least once how everything goes. I mentioned that for me the point of scrapbooking was visual storytelling. But part of that is because my first way of communicating is words. So I know there are plenty of people who use very little language and almost all visual stuff when they scrapbook. And I'm not saying that that's wrong, just that it's not something I can demonstrate because I don't have any idea how it goes. I think I've gotten everywhere. Now, put this down. Nope, not balanced at all. Hi, I'm making a video for Makita.
Huh?
I'm making a video for Makita. So this isn't a good time to ask me questions. Is it important questions?
No.
Okay. I'll talk to you in a little while then. Okay, now, here's a little trick. As I said, I think that the point of scrapbooking is the story. Well, sometimes you don't want the story out for everybody to see, but you can put it on a card underneath the photograph. And then people who have access to the book can open it up and see the story. Make sense? So we're going to put the first photograph on this piece of card that I cut for the story. And it's not my story to tell, so I don't know what you would want necessarily to say on this page, but possibly the story of how you and your beloved met. And only on this top piece. Don't glue it shut. Ask me how I know about that. And then an older picture. Yeah. Where we started. Aren't they pretty? Such gorgeous young people. I'm not sure, but I think this is the one that I told you about when I saw it. Anyway. Let's see if I can pull up further away. No. Then I have a picture of the whole crew. Now, this doesn't look bad, but in my experience, matting the pictures makes a huge difference. Now, these are 4x6 pictures, so let's move that all aside, and I've pulled out some black paper. I'm going to cut it to 4.5 by 6.5, just a little bit bigger than the picture. Not big enough. Not big enough. Try again. Okay. Since I don't do numbers really well, we're going to cheat. We're going to put this here. Okay. And put it more or less the way we want it, and you see how this causes the picture to pop up off the background. And I think it just adds just a little bit. I mean, enough though, enough. Now, because this is small, I'm going to try holding it down with undiluted glue. And is this one? Nope, that one's not big enough either. So we're going to do it the hard way again. I'm going to put these aside because these are really useful for other projects. And we might actually want this to be a little bit bigger a mat because it's got the story inside. And this one. Here's a little trick. You don't always need to have a whole mat. Is that in screen? Yeah, I've got two partial mats so that two corners stand out. Then the picture pops without using a whole lot of paper. So, fabulous. Glue on the floor. Okay. Oh, I forgot something. I did. I'll do this frame. And then I had wanted to put this down. And it's just, I think that one looks prettier. Of course, I put glue on the side I thought was prettier. Oh well. Must be that I didn't mean it to be used that way. Now, there's that. Clean up that excess glue. And maybe this will work better. Yeah, kind of. So, put some glue on this one. Okay. Now, do we have any more stickers to make this a little more interesting looking? Oh dear, it slipped. Nope, it grabbed. Oh well. Now, what have we got? We've got these curly cues. Let's see, where would those look pretty? Looking for more pretty curly cues or something. They have to be the same color. And I just realized there are several colors. No, you know, I think that's it. And there's a facing page in a similar color scheme. But I haven't printed the pictures yet. And I think I will make them in a smaller format picture so that we can get more of them on the page, because I'm thinking that this might be all of the children. And let me know what you think. Anyway, page 1 of our book done. Thanks, Makita. And anybody else who joined us, thank you too. I'll be back on the 3rd for a discussion of the Stash Builder collaboration for 2025.